Hey guys, it's 13th Citadel with another Pokemon Showdown battle. So right here I'm going to lead with my Thunderous, and my opponent is going to lead with the Salamence. So I automatically go for the Hidden Power Ice, and kill that Salamence, get it out of the way. So now the Salamence is gone for good. Now Infernape comes in and I'm thinking it's probably going to be Scarfed, so I'm going to get out of there because he's going to outspeed me. So I just switch into Chandelure, and the opponent's Infernape U-turns out of there and switches into their Milotic, which is very troublesome for my Chandelure. But I switch out and I just send in my Ferrothorn, which gets put to sleep by the Milotic. So I'd rather have my Ferrothorn asleep than someone who can actually do some damage. Alright, so the Milotic Dragon Tails my Ferrothorn out of there and brings in my Chandelure, which is horrible. So I just set up a sub with my Chandelure, and the Milotic's Hypnosis fails because of my substitute, but Sleep Clause is in effect anyway. I hit the Milotic with a Shadow Ball. The Milotic misses the Dragon Tail. I hit the Milotic with another Shadow Ball. It lives with just 1% HP, and it just heals up all the damage with Rest. So I know I can take it out with Shadow Balls before it manages to wake up. But it's also a sleep talking Milotic, but it's not getting anything from the sleep talk. So I can easily 3-hit KO this Milotic with Chandelure. I'm usually good at making the odds in my favor. So I go for the Fire Blast here, hoping something will switch in, and the Fire Blast is a pretty safe bet compared to a Shadow Ball. But right here my opponent sends out Skarmory, switches out into Infernape, but the Fire Blast takes out 70% of his HP, which is quite a lot. And here the Infernape goes for a U-turn, doesn't break the sub, and switches back out into Skarmory. I go for a Fire Blast, I miss. I don't take the recoil damage that would have killed me, but my opponent just leaves Ferrothorn as death fodder for the incoming Fire Blast, which will kill the Ferrothorn and my Chandelure. Right here I decide to send out Keldeo because it's the best option to taking down all of my opponent's Pokemon except for Skarmory. So I just Hydro Pump the Infernape. If the Skarmory came in, it would have taken massive damage. And here the Skarmory gets sent in. The Hydro Pump it. It's at 3% HP, but it has a red card, and it switches in my Ferrothorn of all things. And it just proceeds to set up Stealth Rocks pretty late in the game. Skarmory roosts. It's gonna roost to full health, and my Ferrothorn finally wakes up by the time it heals. I get off a Gyro Ball. It does a decent chunk as the Skarmory lays up some spikes. So I decide to at least see the Skarmory just to destroy the Skarmory and cripple it. But I go for another Gyro Ball, and it just whirlwinds me out of there, bringing in my Landers. I'm not sure how good my Landers would compare to the Skarmory. I mean, all I have is Stone Edge, U-turn, and Earthquake. But if I predicted the Roost, I could have went for the Earthquake instead and killed the Skarmory beforehand, but I didn't. So now I'm just going to go for the U-turn, just so I can switch into my Scrafty, which I know is just going to get Whirlwind, because I don't want my Scrafty actually getting Whirlwind. So my Landers comes back into battle, and this time I actually just go for the Earthquake, hoping it would roost, but it doesn't. And it just whirlwinds me out of there into Thunderous, which is the best Pokemon to take on this Skarmory, and even the incoming Gengar. But the Skarmory decides to stay in on my Volt Switch. I take out the Skarmory, and I choose to switch into my Keldeo, which has the Hidden Power Ghost, just enough to take out the Gengar, which has the Focus Sash and survives with just 1 HP. But my opponent decides to forfeit right after because there's no hope for a win, even after my opponent puts my Keldeo to sleep. There's really no way my opponent could have won this battle. And I managed to win this battle 5-0. I'm 13th Citadel. My username is Roxas13, and you can expect some more battles after this.